What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, and in fact, NFL fans, because football is back. NFL Week 1. What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm here with my boy OGR Sports, One Giant Rebuttal. How you doing, OGR?
I am doing fantastic. NFL day, weekend, whatever. I am just excited, my friend. I am just absolutely excited.
I'm sure you're also been surprised by a couple of these matchups today because I'll keep it real with you. I could name like 3 off the top of my head that surprised me.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were just talking about it before we even went live. One, how about the Cardinals beating the 49ers? Now, I'm not going to jump on that hype train, but okay.
I mean, with the stat line that he put up.
Actually, the Ravens stomping out the Cleveland Browns. I mean, seriously, Odell Jr. must have been in his absolute home because he was just so excited to get shit on by the Ravens. 3 for 22. That's what you're paying for. 3 for 22 opening week. And Baker Mayfield, on fire. He might be just getting shitted on just like Odell. They both love it, so let's do it.
Listen, man, the Browns are back to being the Browns. If they ever left, I don't know, but there's so much hype around these Browns teams the past 2 years. It just looks like they're back to being the good old mediocre, terrible Cleveland Browns, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Afghanistan, Ligma, Toast, Clocks, Kevin Cronin, Dylan Renner, Raphael, and ATG Rico. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, Ravens literally just cakewalked against the Browns, man. Browns could not do anything. Their offense couldn't move at all. Baker Mayfield looked terrible out there, and Odell looked terrible out there. And I tweeted out today. Shout out to Joseph Clark in the house, by the way. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Joseph. He says, and the Judge era begins, and we're certainly going to talk about Joe Judge and the Giants a little bit moving forward in this stream here. As I was saying, though, Odell definitely proved today, OGR, that Eli Manning had a lot to do with his success in New York. This is 2 years in a row now. He's looking terrible.
It's 2 years in a row he's looking terrible, and also he's just not the same player after the ankle injury. I think we all can agree. Maybe he's just looking out for him and him alone, or maybe he's just happy collecting a check. You know, he does seem happy getting the money. So apparently production doesn't matter. Winning doesn't matter. He says that winning matters, but every time he goes out, he shits the bed.
I mean, listen, bro. That's what he likes to do. What can you say? That's what he likes to do, man. Apparently,
no, he doesn't literally shit the bed. He gets shitted on while he's on the bed.
Maybe he likes both. Who knows? I mean, with a guy like that,
maybe he's into German poop parties. I don't know.
Nah, but for real though, Odell is really. Maybe it is the ankle injury, that 2017 ankle injury. Even when he came back in 2018, though, he looked relatively the same. And I'm going to say it's because Eli was that quarterback. Now, you can't just say Eli force feeds him the ball, because today Baker Mayfield absolutely force fed him the ball. He was like shoving the ball down his throat the amount of times he was throwing it to Odell. But Odell just couldn't catch it. So I'm going to say maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's a little bit of the ankle injury and something about the way Eli gave the ball to Odell. But he's not the same dude he was, bro. He's not that top 5 receiver anymore, possibly number 1.
Football talk says Browns might need to draft a new QB.
Maybe. I mean, I don't disagree. Baker Mayfield looked trash out there. This is what? This is going to be his 3rd year in the league?
Who? Oh, Baker? Yes.
Yeah, so you guys know me, man. My rule about players is generally there's 3 years before you know what they are. Maybe this year we know what Baker is. Dollar Beer says, the Judge era have started. Where have you been the last few months, Joseph? He's talking about the official start, Dollar Beer. The official start of the Judge era is tomorrow. And how do you feel about this, OGR?
I am over the moon right now. I'm going to be live. I know you're probably going to be live, so we're just over the moon.
I mean, listen, man. Are you more over the moon now that the Washington football team came away with a win today? How do you feel about this?
I said it in my troll video. I said, Washington football team, legit, probably best front 4 in the NFC. Front 4. So 4th.
Not even in the NFL, because who in the AFC would compete with that front 4?
I don't know right now, but for me, I have to see the totality of the season. So I'm just going to say NFC, best in the NFC East. That is very clear. Maybe the Eagles are 2nd or 3rd. I mean, the Giants got to be last, even though our interior is very good. Our questions are obviously at the edge rusher. So I got to give it to the Washington football team. Dwayne Haskins didn't look great, but he didn't turn the ball over. He played a very headsy game. He didn't shoot himself in the foot. And when given the opportunity in well, when they got the turnovers in scoring position, he converted either a field goal or a touchdown. And he converted those turnovers into points, and that's what you need out of your quarterbacks. So not a great day, 53%, completion percentage gives you something to be desired, but at the end of the day, Washington football team did not get down on themselves. Rivera and those boys lined up, and don't forget, they came back from 17-0. The Eagles pulled a New York Giants. Just saying.
Yeah. No, apparently that was something, and the broadcasters were saying it during live during the game. The last time the Washington football team had come back from such a big deficit was back in 1975. Kind of reminiscent of how the Giants came back against Tampa Bay. And that was something that hasn't happened in a long time. But I completely agree with you.
Dollar Beer is so excited. He says Washington's going 16-0.
Dollar Beer, listen, bro. Stop tripping. Go take a lap. Washington's not going 16-0, okay? I still listen. I'm not as confident as I was before saying that we're going to sweep them. The Giants are going to sweep them. But listen, we've always played very well against the Washington team, all right? I almost said their former name there. But we've always played very well against them. And like I was saying before, they kind of played a tale of two halves, and that includes Dwayne Haskins. The first half, he did look bad. The second half, you know who he reminded me of? He actually reminded me of Alex Smith because he played really good in a game manager role, just like you said, not turning the football over and just getting the job done when in the red zone. So maybe that's what Haskins ends up being. But that defense, 100%, man. Without that defensive line, they would have not been in this game at all.
And as far as the Eagles go, my Lord, I'm not saying time to hit the panic button. You have 15 other games, but you guys need to fix that offensive line. You need to fix it now because Carson Wentz was getting swarmed today. He got sacked 8 times. I don't even know how many knockdowns. Washington pass rush is good, but it's not godlike. It was bad. It was bad. I understand he's missing Lane Johnson, some interior pieces. He did have his starting center, so that was good. And he's had his former left tackle, and even Jason Peters was getting beat. So, I'm not saying it's time to hit the panic button, and they've had more injuries strapped on today, but the Eagles need to get it going in the following weeks here.
I just want to say real quick, shout out to Football Talk in the chat, Talking Sports with Muzz, Mike Lowe. I think I already said shout out to Afghanistan, and Giants Opinion Sports. Shout out to all you guys. I see a couple of good comments here that I'm going to get to eventually. But to speak on the Eagles, man, I don't want to say hit the panic button either, and a part of me really wants to say I told you guys so because I've been saying since like March and April that the Eagles were going to fall apart this year. Like everybody knew their defensive depth was trash. They didn't have a linebacking core, and then as the offseason went on, it just looked like the depth overall on the team was terrible. Their offensive line depth was terrible. That for sure showed today, and then overall their defensive depth showed because I think Vinny Curry went out at one point with an injury. They got like at least 2 more injuries today during the game, and they just kind of fell apart. So I don't know, man. Is it really too soon to call it, the panic button on this Eagles team, or is it not? Because they're really missing a lot of starting pieces.
They did drive down 2 or 3 times and they rammed it down the Redskins' throat in the beginning of that game. Now, if that Eagles team can come out week after week and maybe this is just an admiration, okay. Maybe we do. They still have Dallas Goedert. They still have Zach Ertz. Jalen Reagor didn't look bad, even though it was one big pass, but still 54 yards on one pass is pretty darn good. Deshaun Jackson is limping.
Jalen Reagor, I just want to say real quick, he did show his speed today for anybody that was saying he's not a speedster.
Yeah, Jalen Reagor did. He did muff a punt, but they were, obviously the Redskins weren't paying attention. They just figured he was. I don't know if they just thought he was going to fair catch it or what.
I think there was the Eagle there to right there to recover it either way.
Yeah, but if they would have stopped and waited for the hit, they might have been able to recover it. Is what I'm saying. So,
shout out to David A.
We got a ton of questions in the chat.
Yeah, we do. I'm gonna get to it right now. Shout out to David A.V.
Shout out to Dave A.V., Bradley, Jaden Dawkins. What's going on?
John.
Oh, okay, so he's answering Giant Opinion Sports. So he says, "How do you guys feel about the Bucs Saints game?" I'll let you comment on that first.
So the Bucs Saints game, shout out to John. Thank you for tuning in. And then we're going to work our way back up the chat because, like I said, I saw questions there from before. I wasn't surprised by this. I did not expect the Bucs to come out and win at all. I think the Saints, it's a very simple thing when you consider it. The Saints, they've been running the same offense and defense for basically the past 13 to 15 years, and that offense and defense have been together for the past 4. They're well put together. They don't need any regular type of off season, and they really won't be put off by a lack of a preseason game or anything. On the other hand, The Bucks offense has never been together. They got a completely new quarterback, and they might be running some type of variation from the offense last year. They needed the time to prepare, and I was like, yeah, there's no way they're going to come out and beat the Saints team. And the Saints team is just too talented to lose to that Bucks team. So I wasn't really surprised by it. What do you think about it, OGR?
I just think that Tom Brady showed his age a little bit today. I'm not saying, it's completely done and whatnot, but he just had some impromptu plays that weren't Brady-esque, put it that way. I'm not going to point to anything. That interception was terrible. That was one of them.
Oh, yeah. Former Giant Janoris Jenkins.
Part of it was Evan's fault. Yeah.
What's going on? I was just like, former Giant Janoris Jenkins with a pick six to the house.
Yeah.
I saw Giants Twitter talking about that a lot.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. Janoris, it wasn't the same player on the Giants. A lot of these guys, they just want to go to good teams, and they'll work hard for those good teams. He came here, he played well for us, and then we started shitting the bed, and guess what? He didn't play well. So he just wants to play for a winner. And he doesn't want to make a team into a winner. He just wants to play for a winner. So good for him. Good for him.
As much as I don't like it, there's nothing really wrong with that because the dude does perform when he's on a winning team, to be honest with you. Scrolling up right here to Clocks. He says, I was pleasantly surprised how good the games were today. Did you see how Detroit lost? Stafford throws a perfect pass in the end zone. Guy drops it. Funny you mentioned that. That's exactly what OGR was looking at before we went live.
Oh, yeah. It was the first highlight I got to see of it, and my jaw dropped. DeAndre Swift has got to feel like an absolute buffoon right now because you had a shot to win that game, and you literally dropped the ball.
And do you give him a pass because he's a rookie and there's no preseason, there was no offseason training camp or rookie mini camp? Do you give him a pass or not?
Dude, if it was me or you, we would have come down with that ball. Just saying. We were wide open, right between the numbers. Hey, they teach you in Pop Warner. Catch your hands. Don't let it come to the body.
Yeah, no, that Lions game. Listen, in my opinion, the Lions shouldn't even have been in that position in the first place. The Bears are not supposed to be a team that you struggle against. Then again, it is a divisional opponent for the Lions. What do you think about that? Do you say that they shouldn't have been in that position, or what are you saying?
No, they should have run away with it. The Detroit should have run away, and they let the Chicago Bears hang around, and they let the Chicago Bears come back into it. And they made Mitch Trubisky look like Matt Stafford in his prime.
Yo, I saw a stat line that came across the screen when I was watching the Washington game. It was like Mitch Trubisky, like 8 of 10, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. I was like, what? What is this?
Oh, and how about this one? Jaguars beat the Colts.
Another upset game. Gardner Minshew. Let me pull up Gardner Minshew stats, bro. Hold up. You speak on OGR.
So, Gardner Minshew, said, hey, draft me number 1 in your fantasy league, and Budweiser will give you a ton of beer. If you win your fantasy league, we'll give you a beer for a year. If you draft us, we're going to give you a case of beer. I'm thinking about just firing up another league, just, take Gardner Minshew number 1 overall because shit, Gardner Minshew looking like the real deal. Let's go.
This man, 19 of 20, Jesus Christ, only 1 incompletion, 173 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He literally said, oh, so the Jaguars are trying to draft Trevor Lawrence? Nah, I'm going to prevent that from happening. They're not drafting. What do you think about this? If he balls out, because let's keep it real, he did have a really good rookie year. If he balls out in his second year, are they even considering taking a Trevor Lawrence or taking a quarterback?
No, everybody thinks the Jaguars are the worst team in the league. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody would just assume that Trevor Lawrence would be a Jaguar. Not so fast, my friend, is what Lee Corso is saying. But what I also am going to say is DJ Chark do 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 do. DJ Chark do 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 do.
He only had 23 receptions today, but he did have a touchdown. 25 yards.
Hey, touchdowns, that's what matters. Put 7 on the board.
Exactly.
And Chenault balled out today too.
Yeah, Laviska Chenault did ball out today. Mike Lowe says Belichick won, Brady 0. True indeed. Of course, Buccaneers lost, but the Patriots won. Honestly, I don't think anybody should be surprised that the Patriots won. Ever since they got their real starting quarterback in Cam, I thought week 1 was going to be a given. The Dolphins, sure, they're improving, but they're not going to be matched for Belichick.
Picks, I'll read off my picks right now, and it's embarrassing because I'm in Big Blue Jabronis League, if I could ever unlock my phone. I'll just give you guys my picks, and everybody can laugh at me in the chat.
All
Just give me
right.
2 seconds. Just keep. It'll take me 2 seconds. Okay, here we are. So my picks were. Where are they? Where are my picks? Oh, there it goes.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Dolphins, Colts, Bills.
You got the Bills.
The Bills were a given. Dolphins,
mean-
Colts, Bills.
Listen, the Colts were definitely an upset. I'm surprised he picked the Dolphins because I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like I said, once they got Newton, the combination of Belichick and Newton, I was like, that's definitely gonna beat Brian Flores and the Dolphins. But I don't care who they put out there, whether it was gonna be Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick. I didn't see them beating the Patriots.
Trust. I didn't think you were going to get the Cam Newton of old, and not say we did get the Cam Newton of old, but
Well, wait, which Cam Newton of old? Which Cam Newton of old? Pre or post surgery? Shoulder surgery.
Post or pre shoulder surgery.
Well, Cam Newton of post shoulder surgery 2018 was an MVP candidate. A lot of people forget that when he was in that offense, which didn't require him to bomb it down the field. It was a short horizontal passing offense, and he was an MVP candidate before he went down again. That I forgot what injury he went down at the 2018 season, but he was balling out before he went down.
And Mike Lowell says Trevor Lawrence to the Browns. I don't know about that.
We'll get into that. Afghanistan says, I think a lot of folks knew the Redskins pass rush would be pretty good this year. I mean, it would be a huge surprise if it wasn't. A lot of people were expecting it to be good, but listen, 8 sacks, that's a lot better than good, Afghanistan. And listen, I do know they're one of the best D-lines in the league, but a good amount of that is also on the fact that the Eagles' offensive line was just pure trash today.
Yeah, everybody on the Eagles' offensive line be shaking their head.
Exactly. Let me scroll down here. Giants Opinion Sports says Giants are beating the Eagles twice this season. You think we're sweeping them? I know for me, this just guarantees that we're going to win against them at least once. A sweep? I don't know.
I don't know, because you know what? Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz still look good. And you know what? The Eagles went 9-7 with basically those two driving their offense. And don't forget, they don't have Miles Sanders out there, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the Eagles. Dougie P had some questionable play calls today, and Carson Wentz looked like doo-doo. But
Carson Wentz looked trash in the second half, man.
Yes, he did. But at the end of the day, those hits started to take its toll, and he started getting jumpy in the pocket. And that would happen to most quarterbacks. You give up more than 4 sacks, that quarterback, that clock in his head starting to tick. And some of those balls, you saw interceptions because of it.
And speaking of the quarterbacks and performances, we talked about how Baker Mayfield looked really bad. Carson Wentz looked bad in the second half. And, of course, Michael with the Trevor Lawrence to the Browns. Listen, man, Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, I know Josh Allen had a good game. He still had a couple of bad plays, so I'm not going to get on him. You can get on him. But Sam Darnold looked like trash. I mean, even Adam Gase, who was a terrible head coach, came out and said that it was the passing game that lost us the game. Sam Darnold said, yeah, I just flat out missed people. This dude does not look like a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He doesn't. He doesn't look like a starting quarterback, and it's his 3rd year. It's time to put up or shut up. You don't put up this year, and the Jets are at the top of the draft. Trevor Lawrence, here we come.
Are you really think? Well, how bad are the Jets going to be this year? Because it's funnily enough, since we follow Giants beat reporters, they're also Jets beat reporters because same stadium, same facilities, everything like that. A lot of them did say that Jets starters, both offense and defense, looked terrible in training camp.
And not only that, I mean, let's forget, Joe Douglas didn't pick Adam Gase as a coach. He didn't pick Sam Darnold as a quarterback. If the Jets do not get to a respectable record, at least 8-8,
they're definitely not getting 8-8, man.
Joe Douglas will stay because I believe Joe Douglas is a very good GM in this league. I think the Jets did pick somebody up right. Joe Douglas will be firing Adam Gase. Goodbye, Sam Darnold. The Jets get their next quarterback. Mark it down. You heard it here from OGR. Maybe not first, but top 5. And
you want to speak on Josh Allen a little bit because you did say Josh Allen still looked bad to you. You want to elaborate on that?
Please, Josh Allen, anytime Josh Allen's able to get outside the pocket and create, he's a very good quarterback. Josh Allen again today. J-Ron Brown picked the ball off the ground and ran it in for a touchdown. Like, Josh Allen's placement is terrible. It's bad. He's not an accurate quarterback. You keep Josh Allen in the pocket and you say, beat us from the pocket. Guess what? Josh Allen will not win. He will not win. You got to do what you did to Cam Newton. Keep in the pocket, beat us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say, His stats were good today, but there were a couple plays that stood out to me a lot. Like I think it was one play in the end zone where his tight end I think was open, and man completely just overthrew him at the back of the end zone, like wide open, straight up overthrew him. There was a couple throws in the flats that didn't go. Can you imagine that 2 years ago, Jets fans were thanking us Giants fans for taking Saquon Barkley because we gift wrapped them Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold in year 3 still looks trash. Bills fans were talking all hot because they got Josh Allen. Josh Allen still hasn't really proved himself as a consistent quarterback in the league. And even people were clowning us for the Baker Mayfield thing. Like that 2018 draft class, it just does not look good. Quarterback class, at least.
Everybody was just, oh my God, Josh Rosen. What is Josh Rosen doing now? He's warming up the bench and making sure it's nice and warm for Tom Brady's ass. That's what he's doing.
And shout out to Calvin in the chat. Calvin is a big Cardinals fan. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. We don't even talk Cardinals that much, but you show up anyway. Cardinals beat the 49ers. Calvin, let me know how you feel. We found out about this right before the stream. I think we talked about it a little bit.
Yes.
But let's get back into it for the sake of the one thing we did get into. Kyler Murray's performance. 250 passing yards, 91 rushing yards. OGR, what are you thinking?
I know you're hyped. I'm going to pump the brakes. Let's see 15 more games before we come out and say, he is the anointed one, and he is going to win MVP. But he played very well today. DeAndre Hopkins was the weapon that everybody claimed he would be. So I'm not going to sit there and say the Cardinals came out, played well, stopped that 49ers run game, and they were able to put themselves in position to win, and they did against a very good 49ers team.
And I will say this, I'm surprised by the Cardinals' defense.
The NFC West has proved today, by a shadow of a doubt, it is the best division in all of football. And 10-6 wins that division. You heard it here first.
10-6 wins that division?
Because they're just going to beat up on each other.
Well, we still got one game that involves the NFC West, and that's Rams at Cowboys, which I think started probably a minute ago. We won't be calling the game, guys. We'll be keeping our eye on it, though, as the stream goes on. I guess the kickoff is going to be at 8:30 because I'm on Google here and doesn't have any score or timeline up. So you think Rams are coming out with that win, or are the Cowboys going to sneak one out?
As much as I hate to say it, I'm not a big believer in what's his face, the coach of the Rams. He's slipping my name right now.
Sean McVay.
I'm not a big believer. I think he's been solved. I think I don't think he's very good at adjusting. I'm not saying he can adjust, and maybe I'm wrong for all the people that love Sean McVay, but for me, I'm not a big believer in the Rams. I think they overspent on somebody even like Ramsey, who a lot of people say, oh, he's a shutdown corner.
No, they definitely overspent on Ramsey. I don't disagree there. They 100% overspent on him.
I mean, they've got talent, and hopefully, for Rams fans, they've proved me wrong, but I've got no trust in the Rams. I think the Cowboys are coming away with the win. But I expect it to be a close game. I don't expect the Cowboys to make it, have it go away. You know what I'm saying? Win it going away.
I do think the Cowboys, at least on the offensive end, are going to be completely one of the best teams in the league this year, especially their offense, which is going to be something interesting to watch as this game goes on. Clock says, Hub, the entire game, he's talking about the Bucs-Saints game here, changed on BS pass interference in the second quarter. Saints were punting, score 7. I guess you were supposed to say 7 something there. I definitely like the Bucs. Now, I'm not saying that the Bucs are terrible. I just did not expect them to beat the Saints. And even then, you said if it was a pass interference in the second quarter, you got 2 whole quarters to play left, my guy. That's all I'm going to say. I did not watch the game live, though, so maybe there's something that I'm missing. Any response to this, OGR?
Hey, one of the highlights in that game for me was the block kick by the Saints. Mm-hmm. Saints came out and they pressured Brady. They stopped. Well, they didn't really stop the run very well, but eventually, the Bucs had to start chucking it to start catching up here, and the Saints came out and they looked like the well-oiled machine we all know they are offensively. And they throw different wrinkles in, and you got to be prepared for it. And it's tough to get prepared for.
Yep. Mike Lowe says conditioning could decide the first few games in the fourth quarter. Judge ran a hard camp, could help us on Monday. Not could. I definitely think Judge's hard camp is going to help us on Monday. Now, I can't say that we're going to straight up beat the Steelers, but hey, man, if the football team can beat the Eagles, anything can happen, bro. That's my response at this point.
Yeah, very true. And looks like the game just did kick off. And the first play is a reception to Robert Woods for 20 yards.
20-yard reception, huh?
20-yard reception. Their ball's already on the Cowboy 50. That's that suspect secondary the Cowboys have could be a big thing in the game.
Shout out to Sajid in the chat, host NFL in the chat. Giant Met in the chat says Lorenzo Carter. He's gonna wreck the game tomorrow. Now, I actually kind of had a little bit of a bold prediction. I didn't say Lorenzo. I did actually say Lorenzo Carter. I said Lorenzo Carter, Marcus Golden, and Leonard Williams are each going to have at least one sack in tomorrow's game. What do you think about that? Too bold, not bold enough, just bold enough?
I think just bold enough. I'll also get to Football Talks comment as well.
How your fantasy team's doing?
I am not kicking so much ass in my $50 league. Michael Thomas shit the bed for me. But, I still have a chance in that league. I'm only down by 4, but he's got 3 to my 2 going. And then I am kicking the shit out of Chris the Entertainer. Let's go.
I am not doing so good. I am getting beat terribly, bro. I'm going up against oh no, wait, I'm wrong. I am doing so good. I've been reading the score incorrectly this entire time.
Shit.
I am
2 for 51. They are on the Dallas 15, 1st and 10 LA Rams.
Wow, the Rams moving a little bit fast here. I just wanted to share the screen real quick. I'm actually doing better than I thought. I'm 145 to 73.3 in the Giants Creators League, and I still have A.J. Brown left to play, and of course the Steelers defense. That's a lot better than I thought it would do. In terms of, because I have, how many leagues do I have, man? I'm running way too many leagues this year with the subscribers and whatnot.
Well, let the subscribers see OGR's team when we get a chance to.
OGR? Oh, yeah, bet. Let me go back to Queens Bavaros. There's only a couple people that got where that name came from, unfortunately.
31 on Dallas 6. Cam Akers, 2 carries for 4 yards.
OGR Tripod Kings 101.5 to 73.9. Daniel Jones hasn't played yet, so that quarterback deal isn't out there yet. But Dalvin Cook with 28.8. Josh Jacobs 35.9. What a game did Josh Jacobs have? Let me look up the and that was one of the games that I said
he had 3 touchdowns and 93 yards, and I don't know how many receptions and much more. I saw
Amari versus Carolina today was one of those games that kind of flew under the radar that I knew was going to be good, but a lot of people weren't going to look at it. But that was one of the games I was some people to look at, man.
Penalty delay a game. The Rams 3rd and 6 in the Dallas 11.
Really? Okay, yep. You know what? I have an idea here. Hold up. Let me see, because there's supposed to be a way to track on ESPN.
Yeah, just go up to the Gamecast.
Gamecast, where is that?
Just go to like a scoreboard looking for the games. Just click on the game, and then you'll be able to kick on Gamecast.
All right, bet. There you go. There you guys go. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Well, no, they're not going to show the actual game. It's just going to update. Go down to that. There you go.
Yeah, I know it's going to show this. But all right, guys, there you go. So you can have some kind of semblance of what's going to go on with the game there while we chat about other things here. Calvin says Kyler didn't do. Oh, really? This is the Cardinal fan talking. Kyler didn't do well except for his run game. It was the Cardinals' D that impressed me the most today. Still, I'm giving every NFL team a pass on week 1 and 2. I agree with him here. I'm
giving a pass week all the way up to week 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm saying up to week 4.
But yeah, I feel for sure.
The Cardinals D 100% impressed me as well because I'm not really surprised that their offense kind of overcame the 49ers defense. I'm surprised their defense held the 49ers run game in check, which was like one of the best run games in the NFL last year.
That was the impressive thing.
Yeah. Sajid here with a bold prediction. He says O'Shane Ximines is going to be a 12-sack guy in the future, I hope. I mean, I hope so too.
Well, he said he hopes, so I don't know if that's a bold prediction. Hoping and actually doing is. Oh, touchdown Rams.
Yeah. Touchdown from Malcolm Brown. The Rams scoring what, 3 plays? 3 or 4 plays?
Jared Goff 3 for 3. Let me look.
Shout out to Jersey Life in the chat. What's up, Jersey Life? Giants Opinion Sports says Ximines is definitely talented enough to be a 10+ guy, but that will get the snaps this season is the question. Now, here's where I disagree. I don't think Ximines is talented enough yet. I think
9-play drive. Sorry, 8-play drive.
8-play drive.
No, 9-play drive. 9-play drive.
Well, that was a quick 9-play drive, though. The game literally started just a couple minutes ago.
No, actually not that quick. Over a 3-minute drive. So I mean, it's not the shortest, but it's not the fastest either. So
True, true. Giants Being Sports says Kyler is running the same offense. I ain't giving him a pass. Well, no, I would disagree. Last year, that Cardinals offense was a lot more run game than I think anybody expected, and it seems like this year they're definitely shifting into what they're supposed to be, which is heavy pass.
I'm just hoping that Amari and what's his face there, the rookie, can't think of his name right now.
CeeDee Lamb.
I hope both those guys have a big night tonight, fantasy wise.
Do you have both of them or one of them on your team?
I have one of them on the league against Chris, kind of like, our league, Giants Fantasy League or Giants Creator League. And then I have CeeDee Lamb going in my flex option today. And I need a big game out of him because guess who shit the bed? Michael Thomas. That was a great pick, 6th overall. 7th.
Michael Thomas did not have a good game today. So then who was the main Saints weapon today?
Pretty much the run game. Latavius Murray and Kamara, and then obviously a bunch of the other wide receivers. And Cook. Cook's had 5 receptions for 80 yards. But
is there any game we didn't really talk about?
The Saints, Drew Brees only passed for like 160, 170 yards. So it was more or less the running game.
That's probably why Kamara, in one of my leagues, I have him just got me like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 points or something crazy like that. Yeah, Drew Brees 18 for
Jersey
31.
Life 86 says Kyler is trash.
Jersey, I wouldn't say that yet, man. I wouldn't say that yet. Just like Daniel Jones, I'm going to give them both until their second, maybe even third years before I pass something like that. Shout out to TSR in the house. He says,
the man I will be live with tomorrow for Giants and Steelers. Oh, and don't forget Sports Critic and Alex Sports will be joining us. Oh, and Hub, I don't know what you're doing next week. Are you calling the game with Kid Blue or not?
Yeah, the plan is we're going to call the game basically every week that the Giants play.
Well, if there's a week he can't, I would love to have you on with me and TSR.
For sure, man. I mean, we could even call a non-Giants game if you guys are down for that.
Actually, we can combine them for 1 week. If Kid Blue is up to it. And Kid Blue, I know Kid Blue likes calling it. I know TSR likes calling it. So, I don't care whose channel we do it on. So.
Edward, I know I've been getting this that some people, some of my subs don't get notifications. Edward, I don't know how to solve that because that's not on my end. That's just on YouTube's end.
Edward, what I would do is unsub them, resub them, re-hit the notification bell. Make sure the notification bell says all. Because if you just do it personalized, you won't get a lot. It's got to say all.
Also, that's why I tweet out a lot of this stuff before it happens. You could just follow me on Twitter, and usually whenever I tweet, it's going to be a notification for this. Other times, it's me tweeting stuff like I was today, like Odell proved that he needed Eli. Jokes like that. Eagles fans, do you want to talk about it? My Twitter is pretty fire every now and again.
Yes, it does.
Dak Prescott playing for $45 million a year contract every game he suits up. Yeah, that means Dak is going to have a really, really good comeback here. And as I say that, he has a 9-yard pass to Amari Cooper, it seems like.
Let's go, Amari.
This man needs Amari to get this win, bro. Jersey Life says, screw the Pigeons. Nah, man, listen.
Hey, you know what? Low-key, I get his anger. Because don't forget, once upon a time, the Cardinals were in our division. They are a former division rival. And if you go to TSR, if you watch some of TSR's old live streams that I'm there, guess what cup I'm drinking out of? He has an old NFC glass cup with all the original NFC teams on it, NFC East teams. So, and that includes the Cardinals.
How long ago when did the Cardinals move to the NFC West? How many years ago was that? That has to be a couple decades, right?
No, not a couple decades. That happened when they added the Jaguars and Texans. Or no, they added the Jaguars. When they added the Texans, they redid the divisions, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? So
yes,
not that long ago then.
Really not that long ago in the scheme of things, no.
Damn, I didn't know that it was so soon. So was there 5 teams in the division, or did one of these new teams replace
5 teams? There was 5 teams in the division at that point.
All right, bet. TSR, shout out to Sabrina in the chat. TSR says, Right with you, bro. Eli made OGB better. Said it all last season. He definitely did. And me and OGR were talking about this earlier. It's not just the fact that Eli force fed him the ball because Baker force fed him the ball today. There has to be something else. Maybe they just have better chemistry. Eli was obviously a better.
Eli's a better quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's obviously a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I don't think anybody could argue
And
against
that's
that.
Eli at the end of his career. Imagine Eli in his prime throwing to Odell.
I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of that at 2014, 2015, I would say.
Yes, so a little bit of that. I would agree.
Yeah. Toast says, I really need the Rams defense to clutch up for Mike
Aaron
Evans.
Donald, 7-yard sack. Sorry to interrupt you on that one.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what Toast was saying. He needs the Ram defense to clutch up. And as I say that, you say Aaron Donald with a sack. So it matches up perfectly. Is there any game we did not cover? I'm pretty sure we went over all the games that took place so far.
I mean, I'm surprised that TSR didn't make a comment that Odell literally got shitted on by the Ravens.
He wanted it to happen, man. Come on now. Stop shaming.
I know he wanted it to happen, but I expect he's pretty smart coming up with jokes right off the top of his head. So
really,
yeah, he's actually pretty good at it.
Edward, how? Edward had 140 points in fantasy, but lost. The dude he played against had 200 points. Who was on that team?
Is that a 2 QB league? I'm curious.
How do 2 QB leagues even work?
You have 2 QBs.
Like, why is that a thing? Why do you want 2 quarterbacks in the league?
I don't know. A lot of people swear by it.
That just sounds so weird to me.
Because don't forget, like when people see 200, they're like blown away. But then you have to like say, is it PPR? Is it a 2 QB league? Like it's weird. No, it's standard. Well, that dude had a hell of a week to get 200.
Yeah,
I do have like upped points in that league. It's still, regardless, that's a lot of points to be putting up. 250 points.
200, Jesus, man.
That's an excellent week. In a standard league, oh, actually, wait. Is it a standard 8, 10, 12? And there's no way that's happening in a 16-team league or even a 14. So we got to find out if it's an 8. If it's 8 or 10, it's kind of BS. Doesn't really matter. But standard PPR, okay.
So then he probably definitely had Hopkins on the team or something. Who else had really?
Okay, it's a standard PPR league, 8-team league. We're gonna have big points in our league. I guarantee somebody gets close to 200 this week, if not 200.
I just want to say, man, the Rams uniforms look terrible. I just had to say it. I know I say it every time I see it, but it looks trash. But that Rams new stadium looks absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it does. I do agree on that.
I would. That has to be on my bucket list.
What do you think about Cooper Kupp returning punts?
I mean, I'm not against it because Judge has our starters returning punts. So,
but Cowboys fans I know
disappointed.
Cowboy fans got to be a little disappointed.
Why? What happened?
Well, I mean, they already punted the ball away. They have a juggernaut of an offense, and they've just scored.
Well, are they really disappointed though? This is Dak Prescott we're talking about. This is the same Dak Prescott where the only difference in this offense and last year is the addition of CeeDee Lamb. So, I mean, he didn't really do anything with that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he did do things stat-wise. 5,000 passing yards is nothing to just, shove away under the rug or anything, but nothing winning-wise. Joseph Clark says, I carry at least 2 pretty good QBs because injuries can happen, and I don't want to get stuck with a garbage QB. Yeah, my 2 QBs that I go to, and the ones that I have the most in my fantasy leagues right now, Russell Wilson, and then I think my backup is Matt Stafford, because Matt Stafford for some reason keeps dropping in leagues.
Well, it's because everybody looked at the injury last year and just assumed he's not going to make it through the season or something like that.
Yeah. Toast says, oof, in one league, the hub leading the PPR league by 40. I didn't even know. I haven't checked until like the stream, actually, when you guys asked me about that. Did you get to check out the Packers-Vikings game yet, OGR?
Yeah, I saw it a little bit. But Giant Opinion Sports says, WTF, does it mean when your video gets partially blocked?
I've never heard of a partially blocked video before. Is that Giant Opinion Sports? Do you make videos and YouTube told you that your video is partially blocked or something? It probably means it's blocked in some countries. I don't know why, but that could be it.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
No. I got the boys in the other room, and they're not gonna They're not settling down. Put it that way. Let me mute my mic so I can yell at him real quick.
Oh no, Dad GR is coming out, guys. As we get back to the virtual fans here, I'm currently watching this on a Reddit stream, guys. I'm gonna have to find a way for tomorrow to set up because the Reddit streams are behind. So I'm gonna be behind unless I could find a way to watch my actual TV and have the camera in front of my face. Is that Cam Akers there running up the middle and got stuffed by the Dallas defensive line? Not sure.
No, it
Jesus,
looks
man.
like a penalty right there, actually.
Penalty?
Yep.
Yeah,
shot
like I said, my
penalty.
streams are definitely
Everson
behind.
Griffin, neutral zone infraction, 5 yards enforced. And then they had another, yeah. So he was originally, he was stuffed.
Okay, but yeah. Man,
But hey, second,
oh my God, I'm sorry, man. Those uniforms are terrible. It looks like if Sears or IKEA had a football team.
I'm gonna go with IKEA since it's closer to the Rams colors.
Who designed the Rams uniform, bro? Jesus Christ. Chuck Norris in the chat, bro. We got Chuck Norris in here. He says, why are the 49ers overlooked after being division champs? I don't think they're necessarily overlooked because I would count it an upset today that they got beat. If anybody is overlooking them,
divisional opponent, and I not the fact that I don't put any solace in it. It's just like a division opponent. They know you the best, tough game. You know it's going to be a tough game. That's why I kind of laughed at Eagles fans when they're like, yo, we got the Redskins, no problem. No, you don't. It's a division opponent.
Because last week 1, they struggled against the Redskins as well.
So if let's say the 49ers get beat by us in 3 weeks, all right, if you're a 49ers fan, hit that panic button.
Yeah. Who do they have week 2?
I do not know, but I will check.
Let me pull that up, actually. Yeah. Who do the 49ers have week 2? Let's check.
49ers schedule.
They got the Jets week 2. I don't know, man. They're definitely beating the Jets. I can't see them losing.
It's at Jets, though. It's at MetLife.
Okay. I guess. I mean, no, I still can't see them lose to the Jets. The Jets looked like one of the worst teams in the NFL out there today. But like Calvin said earlier, and like you said as well, every team kind of gets a mulligan for the first couple of weeks.
Oh, TSR says, the hub. I watched your Giants fans before week 1. Good stuff. Just needs exploding heads. He's talking about his. He's been adding more editing in his. Go check his out because he's been kicking ass. He's actually got professional editing software, and it's really upped his channel. So
nice, TSR. I mean, I have professional editing software as well. I just don't know how to use it to its full extent.
Yeah, he's really kicking ass.
TSR, we'll definitely have to check your stuff out. I think he's talking about my my skit and not my
your skit video. Yeah.
But
which I love. I loved it too. I honestly think it's your best content, to be honest with you.
My skits are my best content?
Well, for me. I'm not saying I love all your content, but I love your skits the best.
Thank you. I was about to say, hold up. Does this mean I don't make what like 99% of my channel is?
Well, of course it's trash. It's not as good as mine. No, I'm joking.
No, I do like my preview video a lot though. I put a lot of work into that one. Am I the only one?
I just like the thumbnail on my last video.
Your thumbnails on all your videos since you've been doing your face and your thumbnails have been gold, especially the cut one.
Mine was literally a troll head.
But all right, TSR. That's why I'm assuming entertainment is in your name.
What'd you say?
I was just like, all right, TSR. That's why I'm assuming entertainment is in his name because it's TSR Sports and Entertainment.
Yes. And I told him, but he doesn't want to do it. I said he should call a whole live game as Freddy Krueger, but he doesn't want to put the mask on. He says he can't really breathe in it.
As Freddy, why particularly Freddy Krueger? Is that like a recurring character?
Because he does a really good. Watch his he does reviews on videos. It's always been he used to be stuck in the 80s and he used to just do movie reviews. And then he realized that he had a passion for sports, so he just renamed the channel and he's been kicking ass as far as calling live games. But he still has a passion for the stuck in the 80s and doing movie reviews. He did a bunch of movie reviews. Well, he does movie reviews, but he did the whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing. He ranked the top 10. So, and he did it as Freddy Krueger in a Freddy Krueger mask with the Freddy Krueger glove. So, and he just did an excellent job. So,
all right, TSR, I'm definitely gonna have to to check out your comedy a little bit more. Toast here says, I want to know what they were thinking putting Los Angeles Rams on the jersey. What were they thinking? People might think we are the Bengals. Let's put the name on it. Yeah, on their uniforms. If the uniforms could get any worse, for some reason, there's a patch that says Los Angeles Rams. Who designed these, bro? How much money did they pay a designer to make these uniforms? They need to get all of their money back.
Yeah, they really do. It's bad. It's bad.
And like you'd think that after all the backlash, they would just go ahead and change it because they're $1 billion organization. It wouldn't take that much to just change it and whip up some new uniforms. Like we saw the Redskins do. They whipped up some new uniforms and helmets, but they were like, nah, we're going to stick with it, even though it's a consensus that is all terrible.
Yeah. I hear. And just to say this, I mean, the Rams 1st and 10 on the Dallas 39. So far, LA's put up 113 total yards on the Cowboys. Just say. And, you know, the Cowboys are a better team playing from ahead than they are behind. We saw that last year. We've seen it the last couple years. They need to step up here. I mean, it doesn't matter to me because they're going to be chucking it pretty soon if they get down by 3 or more.
Heard. And which of the Dallas Cowboys? Right now, it is, what is this? Is the second down for the Rams?
Yes, 2nd and 6.
All right, guys, let's see. What do you think is going to happen right here?
Oh, I'm going to say a touch. Oh.
He says, partially, bro, I do more movie reviews. I'm a musician as well, so a whole bunch more than sports or what OGR said. I mean, like you said, the entertainment definitely encompasses it.
Yeah, and I started telling me I think he needs to start adding more of the entertainment aspect into his channel and just start doing, you know, he has a bunch of characters on his YouTube thing, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and adding those characters into a live stream, which he could easily do, would be awesome. So that's just my personal opinion, but hey, yeah, everybody go check it out when you get a chance.
As we're looking here, the Rams, they got the conversion.
What was the final on the Bucs Saints game?
I think it was 34-27. I'll double check right now.
33. Mike Lowe just answered.
Okay, but
he had Josh Jacobs. So in our league, I was shocked that nobody had taken Josh Jacobs. Honestly, does everybody
slip to?
Huh?
Did he slip all the way, or was he not taken at all?
Cook was my first pick, and then I think I had the 6th or 7th pick in our league. Dalvin Cook was my first pick, and then he got back to me, which I was shocked by. Because Josh is a low end 1 to me, and probably with running back 1 upside. I actually really see his upside because he was utilized so much in that thing. It's not a guy you're going to want 4 or 5 years down the road, but right now he's in his prime. Josh Jacobs all the way, baby.
Yeah, I do remember Jacobs being around there when I was drafting. I was drafting 8 overall, so I had back-to-back picks, but I used my first 2 picks on on wide receivers because it was a PPR league, and I'm like, let me get these wide receivers up, man. Chuck Norris says, can we stop praising Matt Ryan's passing yards when they are just dump-offs under 2 minutes before the half and before the L? Great for fantasy football, though. I'll say this, Matt Ryan is a garbage time god. He is a garbage time god.
Facts. That's a guy sometimes you could pick up in the 10th round as far as quarterbacks go.
Yeah, no, Matt Ryan is usually like on my bench as a QB if I don't get like Russell Wilson or Matt Stafford because I know he's going to be great for fantasy.
Facts.
I heard Andrew Whitworth on the announcers just now, but what just happened?
Let's check it out.
By the way, guys, drop your expectations for this Dallas and Rams game here because this is a game that's going to have a lot of implications. The current team in the NFC East leading right now is, of course, the Washington football team. If Dallas somehow loses, which is very early, it's still the first quarter, but the Rams are up, definitely possible. Washington's football team still remains the team that's 1-0. And then, the Giants, hey, man, we sneak out a win. And then all of a sudden, it's already flipped. Washington and Giants on top. Who knows?
Let's go. It's 1 year earlier than we thought. So let's do it.
Wait, John's being sports. What are you talking about? We haven't even spoken music today. He says, I don't know what new music is. Real music is. Shake my head. Hey, you haven't asked me a single thing, bro.
Exactly. Wow. That was just
I'll have you know, I've formally studied music for 8 years now. I think I know a thing
really.
or two about it. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. I was well, I've informally been in music since I was basically like 6 or 5 via like church stuff. But formally in school, 8 years now, first in chorus/choir, then moved on to being in orchestra where I played viola and cello, and then in college now, music theory. Been in music for a long, long time. Toast says, calling it right now, Rams 24-14. If I'm right, you got to buy me a cookie. I'll give you a virtual cookie.
No, I will send you a package of Oreos.
You got to find out Toast. You're going to find out Toast's exact address just so you can send this man a package of Oreos.
Facts. I just wonder if he's a double stuff fan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kid Blue is live. What in the world? I'm surprised by that.
Well, he might be calling the game.
He is indeed calling the game. I'm surprised because when I asked him if he was going live, he said nah. Because I invited him out.
Wow.
What?
Sam Solomon missed a 29-yard field goal. Hit the left upright.
That's who they let go Greg the Leg Zerline for?
Yep. Tatum missed a 29-yard easy field goal.
Oh, my God. TSR says guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and a little piano here. Okay.
I can definitely attest to that.
Thank you right now, Chuck Norris. This was something I forgot to bring up. The crowd noise, the pumped-in crowd noise on some of these games was terrible. The ones that come to mind immediately, Bills, Jets, it just sounded like an empty stadium. Vikings, Packers sound like an empty stadium. There's a couple other games where the crowd noise was not noticeable at all. They need to do a better job of that because it sounds like they're playing an empty stadium.
Washington did a good job in their game. I think Washington
did a really good job in their game. It actually kind of sounded like a crowd. But every other game that I was thumbing through on the channels, it sounded dead. Didn't sound like there was any crowd.
To me, the Patriots and Dolphins wasn't bad either.
I didn't get to thumb through Patriots and Dolphins, I think.
Yeah, I was flipping between. I mean, I don't have like Sunday ticket or anything. And honestly, unless I'm not interested in the games, I usually follow one game. I usually have like a guy or two that I can watch on like regular TV games. But, you know, if there's nobody, then I'll follow Red Zone. Mm-hmm. Or if they're not interested in. But there's always a game I'm interested in, especially the 4 o'clock games.
For sure, man. Joseph Clark says, and Washington's D got so many sacks that they may actually beat us. No, Joseph Clark. Let's talk about this. Are you worried about facing Washington now, OGR?
Hell no. Dwayne Haskins looked like garbage today. Okay? Let's face it. Dwayne Haskins played. If Dwayne Haskins is just going to sit there and play, don't worry, I won't turn the ball over, Alex Smith. Yes, they're going to be in games, but at the end of the day, they are going to need to rely on Dwayne Haskins in a handful of games. Say, hey, go out there and win me the game. And I don't know if he can right now.
I agree with you, man. Listen, like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to sweep them as easily as we are anymore because I've always predicted a sweep against Washington. But I still think it could happen. Like, the only thing that they got on is a D-line. And you know what? They're going to sack Daniel Jones a couple of times. But I still think that we're better at basically everywhere else.
I just want to say, peace out, my man. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Obviously, TSR had to step out.
Shout out to TSR, guys. Go over there, sub him up, like him up. Check him out, and see you tomorrow, TSR. Toast says, Mans has cameras in my room. He's currently eating double stuffed Oreos.
Wow. I am a goddamn genius.
I mean, it's a very popular variety of Oreo.
Yes, double stuffed. But, dude, have you done mega stuffed yet? Have you stepped your game?
I tried it, and I don't like it. It's too much stuff.
I have a feeling
it's perfect.
I have a feeling double stuff. I have a feeling Toast has a secret package of mega stuffed in his top drawer. Just saying.
Listen, man, mega stuff is a little too much for me. Just a little for me. A little too much of the stuff.
You get Toast's picture. I'm saying that's a mega stuff. That's like a type of thing where mega stuff would be eaten. I'm just saying.
Heard. And here are the Cowboys. Zeke tripped. Did anybody else see that? This man just straight up tripped.
He has 3 carries, so even with a trip.
As there's a T-Mobile commercial here, almost interrupted the thing right there. So we're probably going to go for 7 more minutes, OGR?
Yeah, 6 more minutes.
6 more minutes, guys. It wasn't really a, a call play-by-play type of stream. It was just a hangout live Q&A. If you guys got any questions, throw them in there because I don't call games that well. And I wasn't planning to call any games tonight because this is going to go until like maybe 11:30. That's a little late.
Yeah, I had I known, I would have called a little bit of the game. I mean, it's something I need to work on, but I definitely need to start going live 4 games this year. It's just knowing that if I will have the time, I'm probably mostly going to do the Sunday night game. I think try, but I also kind of want to do. I want to do soccer. I want to do Chelsea Football Club.
You're a Chelsea Football Club fan?
Yes, I am. I became one last year after Christian Pulisic went from Borussia Dortmund to Chelsea, and I've been following. I've just been expanding my horizons as far as soccer goes overseas because it's fun to watch once you understand the game, even just a little bit. But I'll tell you, man, I've been following some YouTubers on here, and a small little YouTuber. He does 1 video a week every Tuesday. His name is 11 Yank. Check this dude out. 11 Yank. The number 11 and then Yank. Very good. If you can't like get into soccer listening to this dude, I don't know. He talks about the U.S. men's national team, the implications overseas. He knows all the players. He's got like a degree in soccer. It's just ridiculous. Dude's good. Dude's real good. And that dude's going to grow fast on YouTube, even doing 1 video a week. Excellent content.
Well, soccer is one of the biggest sports, if not the, well, it is currently the biggest. I say one of the biggest because basketball's catching up there in the world. Gman409 says, after watching all of today's games, I'm even more pumped up for Monday Night Football. I smell upset. Let's go, Big Blue. I don't want to say it, but I kind of feel the same way. The reason I don't want to say it is because I don't want to jinx it. I'm actually, as the skit that I made implied, I'm actually kind of a superstitious dude when it comes to football. But I feel the same way, man. I'm not going to put it out there for the universe to mess it up, though.
Here's an interesting question for you. Who is your favorite person to play on those skits?
Probably the overreactor because it's just fun to yell and shout. To be honest with you, it's just fun to go buck wild, yell and shout.
My favorite is the nerd, the sports nerd. Yeah,
that's literally just me in real life. that's me. And then the casual one, I'm just like, I just channel my inner deadness, and I'm just like, all right, just be dead right here, just be quiet and tired, and not really have any reactions at all.
So, I will say on your chair use today, in your skit or the other day, what I'm saying is, if you're going to, you gotta do the chair shot to the stomach. You gotta fake the chair shot to the stomach, and then go to the back next time.
All right, definitely, we'll keep that in mind.
Back, and it wasn't realistic enough for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I definitely got that. I have to get him hunched over. I just kind of went and angled it instead of getting him hunched over.
Get him hunched over with the chair shot to the stomach, and then go over the back.
But the Jim Ross commentary, though, I know everybody liked that Jim Ross commentary. I put above it. Yeah.
Do the Champions League OGR. Barcelona fan here. Once we know who's going to be in the Champions League as far as group stage, I'll follow Chelsea throughout the group stage. I don't know how many games are going to be called live because they play all sorts of different times. So, but yeah, I'll try and do parts of the group stage. Barcelona's popular. I mean, obviously you have somebody who Bayern Munich, oh my God, this year. You want to talk about fucking team that just straight destroyed people? Bayern Munich destroyed, I mean, G-Man 409 doesn't want to say it, but they destroyed Barcelona. They destroyed Chelsea. They destroyed everybody. Lewandowski, the Polish powerhouse, hell of a goal scorer.
I just want to say to the last comment, I don't know what they're doing to Van der Esch. I'm guessing something happened to his head or neck that I probably missed, but he was on the sideline there. He's being checked out. If Leighton Van der Esch is out, that's going to spell bad news for the Cowboys because they're already down here in this game. 1
reception for 24 yards by Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup's doing seemingly well for you and your fantasy team.
No, well, he's not. He's not doing well for me because I have Amari and CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. 2 different leagues. You have Amari and CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
Either way, guys, get your final questions in. You know what? It's been good, OGR. I'm gonna definitely have to go now. Like
CeeDee Lamb, big gain here. 1 reception for 33 yards.
33. as we're about to end the stream, C Lamb goes off. But thank you for hopping on with me, OGR, for this hour. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Shout out to Joseph Clark for donating. Chuck Norris, final thing I'll take here. He says, who's better, Jared Goff, Derek Carr? You said, who did you say?
Derek Carr.
No, I'm saying Jared Goff. If I had more time, I would strongly debate you on that.
We'll have to fist fight live on YouTube next time on that one.
Facts. But thank you guys for tuning in. That's it for now. We're out.
Yeah, check